This is Alex. She grows bee balm. She's currently dealing with a desperate outbreak of the soft white menace, powdery mildew.
I thought we had something special.
To avoid such a gnarly, perilous fate, make sure to space your plants 16 to 24 inches apart. This will ensure adequate airflow between plants. You hear that? Just because you think you can doesn't mean you should cram all those plants in that tiny space. Also, make sure you keep your watering low.
Stop! Woo! Now wiggle it!
No, don't wiggle it. At least not when it's hot and humid outside. We want to keep those stems dry. And if all else fails, sign up for our free Overreaction Garden Panic Kit with a complimentary emotional support trowel. Because why just treat it when you can treat it dramatically?
Here is a very important thing to keep in mind when it comes to growing bee balm. Spacing is extremely important when it comes to the health of your plants. I had all the intention in the world to thin out my bee balm, and I didn't do it. I didn't. I kept thinking about it. I kept saying, you need to get out there, you need to thin it out, because you know what's gonna happen. There's not gonna be enough airflow. You're gonna get powdery mildew. You need to go out and do it. You gotta do it, and I didn't do it. So I have big, beautiful plants, beautiful blooms, and mildew. If you are interested in growing bee balm but you don't want to deal with the powdery mildew, the variety Jacob Klein is supposed to be resistant to mildew. So it's very, very beautiful. You should maybe try that guy. So bee balm is a beautiful perennial herb that really likes a nice sunny location. Okay, for any of your full sun flowers like bee balm, we're talking like 6+ hours of good direct sun. In the first year that your plants are like really establishing in your garden, you'll want to make sure that you keep it like consistently watered. And that just really helps it develop like a nice, healthy, like strong root system. The bee balm in my cut garden, this is my second year having it. The first year that I planted it, last year, I started it from seed about 6 weeks before my last frost. I started it in soil blocks. Bee balm is kind of known for like being really easy to plant, to transplant. So if you only have cell trays, I didn't necessarily start them in soil blocks because I was afraid of like messing with their roots and disturbing their growth and their health and all that. I just like to start things by soil blocks. So I started them in soil blocks. They sprouted really well. They were like super healthy little seedlings. I planted them out in my garden after my last frost. And I will say it did take quite a while for them to establish and grow to their full maturity and start flowering. They didn't start blooming until August. I didn't mind because it was kind of nice to have something towards the end of the year to be excited about that I hadn't really seen yet that started blooming. So it was nice, but it's kind of wild because all of the other bee balm in different parts of the gardens, they start blooming pretty early in summer. This year, that same bee balm, March, April started coming up out of the ground. I kid you not. Each one of my like individual plants of bee balm that I planted sprouted like 20+ little shoots that came out of each plant. Now I have these guys planted in raised beds, so they are somewhat contained in my garden. But if you're planting them in the ground, just be aware that they want to spread out. They have like fairly shallow root systems. They're not hard to like dig up. They transplant very easily, but they do have a reputation for taking over. It is suggested that you divide your plants in the springtime every like 2 to 3 years, just to make sure that you're preventing that overcrowding, and it will kind of also help your plants really maintain that like vigor to be nice and healthy in your garden. And then towards the end of summer, in the fall time, you can cut your plants back. Leave just a little bit of the stem above the ground and put mulch around it. Depending on how cold your winters get, that'll help kind of insulate them and keep them healthy to come back for the next year. And it's good to mention that if you do have powdery mildew, you can cut your plants all the way back to the soil. I have never tried that before, but my powdery mildew is a little out of control this year. It's a little crazy, so I think I am gonna do that for the first time this year. Cut it completely back to the soil, see how they do, see if they come back for next year. Honestly, I kind of want to move my bee balm from the location that they're in, just because I planted them in a bed that's kind of framing the whole cut garden. And they get so tall and they're so like voluptuous and beautiful. So you can't really see the rest of the garden because they're just so big. So I think that we are gonna end up moving them so that they're in a different location, just so that we get like a nice, good view of the whole cut garden. I know that I've spent like a good deal of time kind of bashing on bee balm, and I don't mean to do that, because it absolutely 100% is one of my favorite things to grow, because I just think it's kind of an underrated flower. I think it adds such a beautiful textural element. I think it's nice because it grows really tall, so it's really great in arrangements. It's beautiful in your garden. It's vibrant, it's quirky. It is a pollinator's dream. You get hummingbirds, you get bees, you get butterflies, you get all of the beautiful beneficial things that you want in your garden are flocking to bee balm. It's really versatile because it is an herb. You can dry it and use it kind of like you do oregano. So for breads, baked goods, meats, poultry, fish, you can use it in your salads. If you use the leaves like straight from the plant, it is recommended that you blanch them, because it does have that very like strong, powerful like taste to it. So that kind of like helps with the flavor. If you blanch it first, it makes it a little bit more mild. Take it from me, someone who doesn't always think about like the edible side of the flowers, bee balm is great. I just think that all of the usefulness of it, all the different ways that it brings beauty to your garden, to your life, to the pollinator world, I just think it's 100% worth it. So if you're curious about growing bee balm, I think you should try it. I'd just go for it, okay? If you do it and you decide that it's not for you, it's too much work, don't let it take over your garden before it's too late. Fair warning. But definitely just add it to your list. Now, I don't know, this happens to me in every video where I feel like I just sort of like sit and ramble about things, so I don't know if I went over everything that I should have. If you have any questions about growing bee balm, anything that you need clarification on or that I just didn't bring up, please let me know your questions down in the comments. And as always, wait, also before I go, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who has participated in my last video. If you haven't watched that video where I give you my June garden update, please go watch that. It's a good time, you know, it's fun, it's full of angst, it's full of rage, it's full of weird times, because that's sort of what I do. But also it's full of me asking you to please participate in my August update and send me your photos of your garden. And it's been so fun reading your emails and seeing your gardens and your photos, and it makes me so happy, and it like warms my entire soul. So thank you so much for participating. If you would still like to participate, you do have time, so please send me your videos, send me your photos, tell me where you're gardening, tell me anything you want, honestly, about your garden. And I will include that in my next garden update for August. So I think that's all I have for you. Thank you again for being here, for sharing things with me, for just hanging out. And I will see you guys in the next one.